So, as you know by now, I have two children. Well, my first child, which is my daughter, she was born at 9 pounds full term. And that is when I started to see a difference in my stomach, my midsection. And it did take a toll on me, but it was what it was. But my second child, which is my son, he was born full term at 9.5 pounds. And that is when I really started to be unsatisfied with my stomach. I was unhappy with my stomach in the way things went because my babies were so big, it pretty much discombobulated my stomach. Well, in 2023, I decided that I would have a tummy tuck while I was on my retirement. I would take advantage of that time and have a tummy tuck. My tummy tuck was scheduled for September the 11th. Now, yeah, that's a bad day, but I'm not really a superstitious person, so I really didn't mind that day because that was the day that they gave me. And I was okay with that. Well, September came and I was getting ready for my surgery. I got my hair braided, everything was going fine. And around September the 9th, my sister ended up in the hospital. By September 10th, she was on life support. Now, here's the thing. My sister was in the same exact hospital on life support that I was supposed to be in having my procedure. So I called the doctor's office and I explained to them that I wanted to put the surgery off because of what was going on. It was just way too much. So they told me it was okay. Now, they could have just canceled the surgery and kept my deposit, but because of the situation and I was in the exact same hospital their office was, they understood. So I put it off for a couple of weeks just to give it time to, get for my sister to get better. Well, September the 11th came, and mind you, like I said, this was the same day that I was supposed to have my procedure. That day, me and my mom, we traveled to the hospital. The hospital that she was in was about 45 minutes away because I do live in a rural town and there's only so much this hospital will do. So a lot of times when you have, urgent situations, they will send you to another hospital. And so happened, like I said, the one they sent her to was the same hospital that I was supposed to be in. Well, me and my mom went to see her September the 11th, that day. And while we were there, I was standing by my sister's bedside, me and my mom both. And I saw two men in black wheeling out a coffin. I was in utter shock because I had never been in the hospital or at the hospital the same day that somebody passed away. And I never saw how they actually take you out of the hospital in this big black box. It had like a black sheet thrown over it. So I was a little shook because I'm like, oh my God, that could have been me. But okay, I didn't, get all crazy about it. I just played it off, they wheeled them out. And what was so funny or so crazy was 10 minutes later, after that coffin was wheeled out, another person was wheeled in. And it was like, oh my God, it's like you're just a number in here. But it's the hospital. What can you expect? Well, a few minutes later, my mother passed out at my sister's bedside. I ended up that day downstairs with my mother in the emergency room. That was a horrible day for me. The same day that I was supposed to have my surgery. That was a horrible day for me. And when I sat there in the emergency room, I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I am never coming back here again. I am never coming back here ever again. To me, that was just a sign for me to rethink the way I was feeling about my body, about my stomach, about myself. And I just realized in that day that things could be worse. You could have way more to complain about besides your stomach. You could be on life support. You could be in the emergency room. Anything could happen. Because, like I said, this was the same day that I was supposed to be in this same hospital having a different surgery, having my tummy tuck procedure, when here it is, my sister is upstairs on life support, and I'm here downstairs with my mother in the emergency room. Y'all, that day taught me a lesson. That day taught me to love my body just the way it is, because it could be worse. The situation could be worse. Like that day, it's just something shifted in me. Something shifted in me. And from that day forward, I started to appreciate my body a lot more. I started to fall in love with my body. I started to appreciate what I had. I no longer complain about my stomach. I appreciate my stomach because I just did not want to take for granted being at the hospital ever again. I was ready to have my surgery. I had my money together. I had put down my deposit. I had my appointment ready. I had my children in line, how everything was going to go, who was going to take me, who was going to bring me home, my recovery. But I did not plan just in case things went wrong. I did not see anything negative happening to me moving forward having my surgery. But that day just made me realize that you never know what could happen. Only God has control of what can happen. And see, this is the thing. During the time that I made up my mind to have the surgery, not once did I consult God. Not once did I ask God, Lord, is this the right thing for me to do? I was only concerned about looking good and being snatched. That was it. I had my mind made up. I was going to be fine. I was going to be snatched. I was going to be cute. I was going to be all of that. I could just see myself walking around with my skinny belly. I was not concerned about anything else but me. Let me tell y'all something. Appreciate what you have, because things can turn for the worse and you just never know what life gonna life. Life is going to happen. Things are going to come into play that we have no control over. Therefore, don't allow these doctors to cut on you just for the heck of it, just for vanity, cosmetic. Just don't do that. Now, if you have to, that's on you. If your mind is already made up what you want to do, all I can do is pray for you. But as for me, I don't want to go back to the hospital. I'm not going back to the hospital. The only way I'm going back to a hospital is if I have to. And Lord knows, I pray that I never have to go to a hospital ever again, because I don't want to experience what I have experienced in those days ever again, even for myself. And I was on the outside looking in to everybody else's situation. I was just a component in what they were going through. But it taught me that you just don't know where life is going to lead you, and you don't know where you are going to be needed. And our first purpose in life is to serve others and not ourselves. So I had to get out of myself, and I had to think about exactly what I wanted to do as far as my body was concerned. And I just had to fall in love with what I had. I started to fall in love with my stomach, with my thighs, with every imperfection that I had. I started to fall in love with me. I'm 51 years old. The time is now for me to love me. So I'm going to tell you, hopefully this will help you through your body issues and your imperfections. Love on yourself because you never know where life is going to lead you. There are going to be some situations that God is going to need you to stand in the gap for, and you do not want to be so self-absorbed and self-involved with you that you can't see past yourself to be of help for others. That's all I got. And I'm just going to tell y'all, I hope this story, which I know I didn't go into too much detail because I didn't want to make this video too long, but I just want to tell you, fall in love with you. Fall in love with you because God knows I have. Now, I do need to get back to the gym. I do know that. I need to get my butt back in the gym and I need to start back working out because I'm a curvy girl. And if I dedicate more work on my body, I will fall in love with my body even more. So y'all just encourage me because I got to get back in this gym. And I can continue to encourage you all. But I'm going to tell y'all, today is Sunday. I hope y'all enjoying y'all family. I hope y'all enjoying yourself, enjoying y'all life, and fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. Love yourself just the way you are. Okay? Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all later. Bye.